Hi guys, welcome to East Coast Sailing. I'm Rob and today I'm going to show you how to revive your teak decks. I'm working on a Beneteau Jeanneau 343 which was built in 2006, and these inlays are original, so they're 19 years old. Now they've had very little care and attention, and over time, if they're left untreated, what will happen is the wood will start to bow, the caulking will come away and allow areas where water can pond, and in winter that will freeze and it will thaw and it will eventually lift the teak strips out. Now if I was to have to replace the whole lot and go to Beneteau, these sets would be between £1,500 to £2,000. So if you want to spend £20 or £100 for teak treatment, either one of these is going to make your teak look really good, and it will prevent you having to replace the whole lot. So it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money in the long run. Now I'm going to be putting two systems head to head, a well-known Wesco 2-part cleaner and renovator. The cleaner and renovator is actually made by a company called Wessex, not Wesco. I think I've just joined the two names together. And a Semco sealer. And then I've also got this, which I invented myself by pure accident because I left a little bit of oxalic acid on a sponge when I was cleaning the rear transom on the sugar scoop, and it bleached the wood a beautiful golden white colour. And after a little bit of Googling, I found out that actually oxalic acid is the primary ingredient in many of the renovators, the well-known branded renovators. And this costs £7 as opposed to £27 for these two. I've also got Danish oil here. I put some of this on my coffee table and love the results it gave. The semi sheen to it, not so shiny that it's going to become a slip hazard, but it didn't lift with any watermarks like varnish. So I'm going to do a little test area on the rear sugar scoop for this system, and in the main cockpit and all the seating I'm going to use the Wesco and Semco sealer to see which provides the best results and the longest lasting, and I'll report back at the end of the season. And by the end of the video you might even be calling me the teak doctor. Clear. The teak inlays have been completely transformed and the colour's been fully restored. And this is what the teak looked like before any of the treatments. Before using the Wessex 2-part cleaning solution, I'm just putting down some Fair Up liquid and some cream cleaner. I just want to lift any of those stubborn stains because it's had absolutely no maintenance over 19 years. It's quite satisfying watching all the grime that's built up over the years being washed away. Teak is actually very soft when it's wet, and it's easy to damage it if you scrub with the grain like I'm doing. However, the teak was in such bad condition I had to scrub all of the dirt out of the grain. Even after this deep clean, the wood has been lifted to a really beautiful auburn colour. All that's left to do is to remove the excess water and we're ready for the first part of the Wessex system. Please read the instructions and use PPE because these chemicals are very corrosive. Look what it does to this concrete. Taking the pink part 1 cleaning solution, it just needs to be mixed at a 5:1 ratio, so 5 parts water to 1 part cleaner. Mix thoroughly and apply with a brush. This solution does go a long way, so be careful not to make too much up, otherwise you'll be wasting it. You can see the different colour stages as I've worked anti-clockwise around the cockpit. I'm just finishing off the last seat with the part 1 solution. And whilst the solution's still wet, you need to agitate it slightly with a sponge. Make sure you keep the work area clean and get any of the solution off the white gel coat because it will stain an orange colour. Once the wood starts to dry off, make sure you rinse it thoroughly, and this will take quite a few goes. You'll know when you've rinsed it properly because the water runoff will start going clear. I used a soft sponge to try and speed up the process. Remove any standing water and we're ready for part 2, which is the green renovator solution. This is also mixed at a 5:1 ratio. Both parts of the Wessex cleaning solution are highly corrosive, so don't get it on your skin and make sure you wipe up any excess if it goes onto the white GLP. It's already lightening the colour of the wood just in a couple of minutes since applicating it. I made far too much renovator solution up, so I did 3 coats and I was really happy with the end result. I was left with this beautiful golden brown colour. After you've achieved your desired colour, it's a final rinse off before the Semco. I plunged my screwdriver into the Semco to give it a mix and was expecting to get some resistance, but it is just literally like water. I'm applying this with a foam paintbrush, but go sparingly because a little goes a long way. It says on the back of the tin if the teak is in really poor condition to give up to 4 coats, and this is what I went with. And the first panel was dry enough to start doing the second coat by the time I got all the way around the cockpit. Even after 1 coat you can see the transformation already. Semco will stain the black caulking as well as the white GRP, so make sure you wipe any excess residue off. And watch out for splinters in your fingers, because I did get a couple. In total, I think the whole Teak renovation took about half a day, so if you've got jobs to do in between, that's the perfect way to mix it up. And what a difference that's made to the cockpit. It looks like a brand new boat. Everyone in the marina is going to be asking you how you get your deck looking so good. I'll probably need to top up the Semco midway through the sailing season, but this should provide good all-round weather protection and seal those decks for years to come. All that's left to tackle is the rear sugar scoop, which is in the worst condition of all of the Teak. I've already washed the rear step like I've done the cockpit, and I'm just applying auxilic acid, which is in a powdered format. I'm going to gently agitate this in with a sponge and just make sure it gets into all the grains. And the colour on the left is already starting to lighten just after a couple of minutes, and you can see it's been fully bleached white. I let the wood dry as best as I could, as we had showers forecasted later on in the day, and applied the Danish oil. The oil is very runny, it has the consistency of water. I purchased this Danish oil from Screwfix, but you can't get it any longer, but there's plenty of other brands available. Make sure you clear up any excess, because this will make your gel coat go a little bit yellow. Straight off the bat, you can see that the Teak on the rear sugar scoop is slightly darker. It's also got a few blotches in. It's not as consistent as the Semco used on the Teak decks around the seating area in the cockpit. However, this solution is £20 as opposed to £100. Right, I'm never going to sugarcoat anything on this channel, and I'm only going to give the viewers honesty, but I have to say the Semco, for me, it looks a lot better than the solution that I did on the rear transom. It just seems to be a really consistent colour, a really uniform colour, there's no blotches. But the only thing I would say is the rear sugar scoop has much more traffic and much more wear on the Teak compared to the seating area, because it's a small area which focuses you to walk on the back of the boat up and down, and I've been lifting tools left, right and centre. But overall the Semco wins, but on price it's not a bad option if you're sailing on a bit of a budget. Thanks for watching East Coast Sailing, and if you've enjoyed today's episode and found it helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to get the latest episodes.